Let's resume with our coverage this morning of the Republicans running for Texas Agriculture Commissioner. Next up is the incumbent, Sid Miller. Commissioner, welcome back to our program. You said you want a third term because there are projects that you still want to work on in 4 more years. What specifically are those?
Well, our biggest program is food nutrition. I've taken the school lunch program. I'm responsible for 5 million school meals each day. But when I came on board, we weren't serving any local products. So now we've got our schools buying $65 million worth of locally grown products served in our lunchrooms. No added salt, no dyes, no preservatives, never flash frozen. But I'm not stopping there. We're going to continue to work to make those school meals more nutritious and more edible.
Commissioner, let's talk politics for a moment, too. One main theme that both of your Republican opponents are talking about is returning ethics to the office. What's your reaction to that?
Well, we have the highest ethics of any elected official in the state. These guys are way behind. They're desperate, and desperate candidates do desperate things. They're throwing everything but the kitchen sink at me in hopes that something will stick. I haven't been charged with any ethics violations. Neither has my political consultant, but they're trying to connect all the dots somehow and get a headlines, and they've actually done that. They've got a few headlines.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that for a moment, because obviously over the last 8 years, Commissioner, you have had some unwanted headlines, personal trips to Oklahoma and to Mississippi as well. The political consultant you were talking about a moment ago as well, under investigation for selling hemp licenses. You clearly have not been charged with anything, but do you have any regrets about those headlines over the last 8 years?
That trip to Oklahoma, fully investigated by the Texas Rangers, and it was prosecuted in the Travis County DA's office, the most liberal DA in the United States. Same office that went after Rick Perry and Kay Bailey Hutchinson and Tom DeLay. And you know what they found? They got the evidence from the findings from the Rangers and said, you know what? We're not even taking this guy to the grand jury. There's nothing here. Of course, they didn't get printed in the paper. So there's nothing there. That was all by a liberal group called Progress Texas, funded by George Soros. So the penalty is the process. All they need is some kind of headline. And that's what these guys are doing. They're trying to confuse people with misinformation, paint me in a bad light. It's not going to work. People know me. I've got a stellar record as your ag commissioner. We just went through Sunset, got a glowing report from the Sunset Commission, the highest ranked agency that they had reviewed in years.
Yeah, and Sunset, for our listeners who might not be familiar with it, is where the legislature looks at each department that it funds. It's part of the state and decides whether to continue it. So that's a normal process that happens for every department. I do want to continue on with politics for a moment here too, Commissioner. Polls show that you obviously lead in this race as the incumbent, but the polls also show that 61% of Republican primary voters have not yet made up their minds in this race. Why do you think that is?
Well, no one's paying attention to the elections right now. Elections aren't on anybody's mind. They're going to get there pretty quick because unless they move the date, it's March 1st. I've got a huge lead. These guys are behind 30 plus points. One of them has 3%, and the other one has 2%. So I mean they have no idea who these guys are. They don't have enough time. It's 32 days until early voting starts. I just don't think they're going to get there, but I'm working really hard. I'm a hard campaigner. I drive hard. Anything I take on, and I'll be making 4 campaign events today.
Commissioner, we appreciate the time and good luck to you.
Thank you. God bless.